You entrusted your loved one's care to a nursing home, expecting compassion and quality treatment. Instead, they suffered from neglect, abuse, bed sores, falls, or medication errors that could have been prevented. I'm Chris Brown from Geiger Legal Group. Our elderly deserve dignity and proper care, not negligence that causes pain and suffering. When nursing homes fail in their duty of care, we fight to hold them accountable. Your loved one's suffering matters. We'll stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG and let us tell your story today.
You snoozed twice this morning, spilled your coffee once, and you've already blamed last night's referee for your morning mood.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's time to embrace the chaos and step into the madness.
Bro, you about to see a side of me you didn't even know existed.
Featuring guests who are over-caffeinated and less reasonable than the average person.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Fans, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Welcome to the show.
So buckle up. It's time for hot takes and hot mics. This is the Morning Rant, where the only thing more unpredictable is Dave before his third cup of coffee.
I just felt like running.
On WPGY, the Sports Pig.
What's up, North Georgia? It's a Friday happy hour edition of the Morning Rant, brought to you by your friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill. Again, East Cobb's #1 upscale dive bar since 1998. Dave Garner with you right here, the professor, along with the refrigerator mover, John Davis, on a gorgeous Friday in North Georgia. What's up, partner?
Hey, man. Good to see you. Good Friday.
Yes, absolutely, man. A lot of things to chop up here over this hour. It's been a busy week, man. We've had a lot of Braves talk. Of course, the Braves are faltering. The Phillies are in their rearview mirror right now, just 5 games behind. That 9.5, 10-game lead just a few weeks ago has basically evaporated, and now all of a sudden we're not even to the All-Star break yet, and yet the Braves have some company, if you will, in the Eastern Division. We're going to talk about that. World Cup, again, PGA news, football news, as always, with my band right here. But looking forward to a busy weekend. What you got going on this weekend, partner?
I have this. Oh, Olivia comes to town. She's bringing the king, Henry, is coming, and then the lover, Romeo. The baby's going to come, and Hudson's going to stay back with his dad, Derek, for some father-son time, and we're going to get to spoil Olivia and the grandbabies for 5 or 6 days.
There you go, man. I love it. Yeah. I see a theme going on here, man. The king, and then, the lover, Romeo, the newest edition.
And then Hudson's the prince. So we got the king, the prince, and the lover.
Oh, man. I'm not either one of those three, so I can't relate. You're a blessed man, John. No doubt about it.
It's a hard name to have. Trust me. He's gonna be thick-skinned before it's all over and done with.
He's gonna have to learn to adjust right there. It's better than a boy named Sue. Right?
Exactly right.
Johnny Cash song.
That's exactly right.
Oh man, hey, we appreciate you guys being with us. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is now open. 866-888-0744. That's 866-888-0744. We had a meeting yesterday, production meeting here in the office with our high school football teams, and so it's starting to get real. Now, we are getting a little bit earlier start than we did last year to this, because of course last year it was kind of, there were a lot of things that were kind of happening at the last minute. The season started, I think, August 15th or something like that. This year, August 21st is the first official Friday night of high school football in Georgia. But yeah, pulled some folks together here at the station yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, and kind of talk through some things. So, and it kind of just made me think about the fact that it is upon us. I mean, we're now less than 2 months away. Next weekend's July 4th. You and I are going to have a busy weekend next weekend. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show as well. But yeah, man, we're getting to that point where we're starting to turn the page. Still plenty of summer left. I mean, we just hit the first official day of summer last week. So, hey, summer's not over with yet, man.
No.
We're just getting started. But as we know, summer kind of bleeds into football season, which eventually bleeds into fall, and so it is just the way it is. But yeah, definitely a little feeling in the air, man. It's starting to get here.
I always think of, especially in summertime, because we're at the field house right now working out in high school.
Yeah.
I can see it right now with Coach Marchman and Coach Buffington and Coach Davenport. We're sitting there, 5:30 in the morning working out, go run, come back in, work out a little bit. I mean, I can see it, and so that's what it is. The one thing that I'm afraid that people are going to miss is the smell of the cut grass, because we've all gone to turf today because of multi-purpose. Obviously you've got to with so many sports going on, but it'd be nice to go around to one of these stadiums one Friday night just to be able to find one that has grass and you can smell the freshly cut grass.
It's becoming an anomaly now. Yeah, the smell of freshly grinded rubber tire and tennis shoe. That's pretty much what we have now. Even though a lot of these turf surfaces are going to a shell, like a seashell ground up, kind of soil there. But nonetheless, though, and then meanwhile, the NFL, a lot of teams, and even at the collegiate level, are going back to natural grass.
Yeah.
So Highmark being one of those in Buffalo, and some others as well. So,
I think the technology, has come. And again, I say it back to you. I think a lot of it started in Green Bay because of what they used to put the heaters under the field and the drainage and stuff like that. And I'm glad to see that happening. I mean, I obviously understand the turf part, especially at a young age with the high schools and stuff like that, because you have so many sports. But isn't it amazing that it's taken, what Green Bay used to do this back in the 60s, maybe early 70s, that's over 50 years. Isn't it amazing that it's taken that long to figure out how to plant grass indoors? Yeah. And I'm not, I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying, with all the technology we have, isn't it kind of weird that it's taken this long for that to happen? And it looks like it's holding up from what I'm telling.
I think it's holding up. Now, last night, watching the USA matchup, which we'll get to here in a second as well, you did see some guys kind of slipping around the field a little bit out there at SoFi. But to your point, I think for the most part, the American stadiums have held up as they put in natural grass, even in some enclosed stadiums like Mercedes-Benz, for example, where they have they've had the grow lamps and things, overnight that they put on the fields. So they've found a way. I mean, you're right, technology.
Did the American team play? You remember the Super Bowl that was out there a couple of years ago when the grass was so slippery and they were trying to, blame it on the greenskeeper and everything, and when all actuality it was the dew coming in off of the bay, making everything wet, and there's nothing you can do about that. But
there's just certain things,
because you're going to have. But is that stadium indoors? I can't remember. I know there's a SoFi Stadium out there that's is it.
Well, it has natural light, so it is a dome. It is a covered stadium, but there is a lot of natural light that comes in there. So again, you don't necessarily.
Is that the one that kind of has a saucer on top? It kind of looks like. Okay.
It's a giant. It's an awesome. I would love to go. Now, obviously, I haven't been out there. I would love to go out there and check out that stadium. Certainly one of those on the list. I'd love to check out every NFL stadium, every Major League Baseball stadium. I mean, that's just a bucket list, I think, for a lot of folks, is to travel around. I knew some guys back in the day with my days over in Forsyth County, working over there at a small TV station. I was part of a hot stove league, and those guys, they were teachers and coaches over there, and in the summer times they would take trips to as many minor league ballparks as they could fit in. They'd bring back a little mini bat or something from it, and they had racks and racks of mini bats. I mean, they had been all over the country to different minor league parks. So, I think that's a bucket list for a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. And I was fortunate back when I played. Now, I would have loved to – well, I actually did play in some of those stadiums that were in the 50s. Cleveland and Milwaukee Municipal. Those stadiums were pretty old. But no, the neatness of being able to do that, and then also relatively new playing in the Seattle Superdome. The loudest stadium I've ever been in, simply because of the valve just goes up and down, and it's just unbelievable concrete. But Denver and San Diego are the two stadiums that I didn't go to. But we've been wanting to put a group together to try to figure out one football away game that we would love to go to. Like I would love to go to Army Navy. I think that's everybody's bucket list.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would love to go to a game at Stanford just to see the background and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nebraska, Texas A&M, Penn State, just some of those stadiums just to see Harvard, Yale. Go and see small like that.
Rose Bowl would be another one, I think, for a lot of people.
And that place is, I tell you what, because we played the Super Bowl there, that place is huge. And it's, and it is very iconic, set back in the mountains the way it is. But,
it's kind of deceptive. Yeah, you look at it, and if you see pictures of it, it's like, it's a bowl, kind of like Michigan, but you don't realize exactly how big and how spread out that thing is.
Right, and what's around it and everything. But so that's a lot of that. That's a lot of fun things to do. And just for a side joke, I think I told you remember Mr. Belding on Saved by the Bell. That's how he makes his money. He goes to all these minor league parks and does appearance fees, and that's how he makes his living. He's living high on the pig. Yeah, he's doing good.
Man, we're missing out.
We're doing something wrong. Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, appreciate you guys being with us right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia. It's the Friday Happy Hour edition of our program brought to you by our friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill. Later in the show, we're going to chop up some Braves talk. It's been a busy week, as we mentioned up top here today. Kyle Pitts with the 3-year, $54 million extension for our Atlanta Falcons. The NBA draft the other night. The Hawks selecting Kingston Flemings, the freshman point guard out of Houston. A.J. DeBonza, again, overall number one to the Wizards, where he will join Trae Young. NCAA baseball, we talked about it earlier in the week on Monday night. Oklahoma winning over UNC. Again, Oklahoma Sooners, the national baseball champions there. We talked a little bit the other day about the NHL coming to Atlanta. They're beginning to clear some hurdles, and you're starting to hear more and more about that. Of course, Tech and Georgia recruiting news, high school power rankings. Brendan Sorsby, his application denied by the NFL to enter a supplemental draft. Of course, Giannis traded as well. And you heard it yesterday on Unsportsmanlike right here on ESPN Radio. Again, the Charlotte Hornets trading LaMelo Ball to the T-Wolves. A lot of other draft picks and things involved there as well. Another little nugget. Jay-Z, now I know you're not a hip-hop fan, John, necessarily, but Jay-Z returning to the stage, 30 years, man. And it begs the question, I guess, real quick before we hit this first break. Is there a band or a performer that you never got to see that you would love to see, dead or alive, or someone that maybe hasn't taken the stage in a while that you'd like to see maybe get back on the stage? Anybody that pops into your head? Any genre?
I think if and the story goes quickly, 1993, we were not supposed to go overseas to play football, so Hester bought us tickets before training camp in Atlanta to go see Hell Freezes Over.
Man.
The return of the Eagles.
Yeah,
well,
there you go.
About a week after she buys the tickets, I get a phone call from Buffalo saying that we're going to play in Berlin. Or it might have been London. This might have been London this time. And I was like, well, that's cool. When are the dates? And I'm like, yeah, of course it would be. So my buddy Warren and I set out in the car on that concert morning and got to Buffalo about the time Hester and her friend that was using my ticket were walking into State Farm Arena. So I think the Eagles would be. I've been fortunate to see Johnny Cash, George Jones, Hank Jr., Dwight Yoakam, Vince Gill. I've seen a lot of those, Alan Jackson and stuff. I'd love to see the Eagles just have one just hell of a end-it-all concert out at the Sphere. And but I've got a lot of small people that I'd love to see. I was from hand to hand to see Singing with David Allan Coe about 30 years ago, and we clacked beers, and that was a lot of fun, and got to meet Alan Jackson and Vince Gill and some of those guys. But I think for me it'd be the Eagles.
There we go, man. I love it. Great choice right here. Will Cooper, man, the Golden Boy would agree with you. That's one of his favorite bands of all time. Y'all are on the same page on that one right here on the Morning Rant. Again, the Friday Happy Hour presented by your friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill off of Lower Roswell Road in East Cobb. Hey, we'll be right back. We'll talk some World Cup, man. The U.S. men falling short last night in the final seconds of that match last night against Turkey, but no problem, man. They're still going through. They'll be in the 32 round on Wednesday. More about that in our Braves and football talk coming up later in the show as well. Keep it right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the SportsPig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Make your home's air healthier. Green Heating and Cooling can help by installing a Bryant Evolution air purifier just for you. Using Captures and Kills technology, this highly advanced MERV15 filter captures many select airborne pathogens. It also helps improve indoor air quality for both asthma and allergy sufferers by filtering air impurities like dust, pollen, and pet dander. Call to schedule an evaluation. Green Heating and Cooling, your top Bryant authorized dealer, whatever it takes.
An hour of Dave a day keeps the workday full of play. Woo-hoo! It's time for the Friday morning happy hour on the Morning Rant.
All right, back here on the program. Thanks for being with us. It's Friday. Hope y'all got a big weekend planned. I do. It's my anniversary tomorrow, so I guess I better have something on there.
Yeah, you better be.
Yeah. I'm gonna end up getting in trouble if I don't, right?
Exactly.
Oh, man. Couple married guys right here with you on a Friday, man. Enjoying it. The Friday happy hour again presented by your friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill. Speaking of, next Friday, week from today, we'll be back at Bradley's. Again, the John Capone, man, everybody there. Looking forward to it. It'll be our special July 4th weekend edition of the program. And looking forward to it, man. 10 to 1 next Friday, the final leg of our summer brunch and lunch tour. Again, next Friday, come on down, come on out. I know a lot of people will be off.
Yeah.
Last Friday was a national holiday, and for a lot of folks, Juneteenth. And then, of course, we had a good crowd on hand. And then next Friday, hoping for the same, man. We'll be auctioning off some items, different things, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, he's had great crowds while we've been there, and going to bring out these, I don't know, they're like these monster hot dogs, 5 or 6 ounces, and hamburgers. He's going to have a great time. I mean, he's celebrating, the last couple of weeks with his anniversary and everything with the Bradleys. And I was actually up there, what's today? Friday. I was actually up there Wednesday. They were getting ready for bingo. They were absolutely packed. Nobody could sit down.
Wow.
And I meant to tell you that the wings were very good. So not to rub it in.
I don't doubt that at all. I have no doubt about that. So, again, speaking of wings and food, it's so funny watching all these Europeans, as we've talked about over the last week or two, enjoying the American cuisine. And basically, I think the United States has done a great job of squashing any preconceived notions about negative connotations, I think, around the world, and the perceptions about the United States are admittedly not always great. You hear from people from other countries, but I think we're doing a lot here as the host nation of the World Cup to squash a lot of that. I think a lot of the Europeans and Asians and different folks around the world are coming here and they're realizing, man, like, these people are nice. The stadiums and the facilities are just, unbelievable. The food is fantastic. They might need to stock the bars a little bit better next time. For Scotland fans, I'm sure.
Those damn Scots.
But otherwise, a lot of great things. You're seeing a lot of great attendance at the fan festivals and things like that. USA falling short last night. They get the early goal. Now, again, they were sitting 9 or 10 starters. Okay, let's keep this in perspective for just a moment. I know Pulisic came in the second half and showed some flashes, and we were able to get the equalizer there, and it looked like we were headed for a 2-2 tie, but a late defensive lapse in the literally in the final second. I mean, after the goal was scored, they blew the whistle. I mean, the game was over, and Turkey gets the go-ahead goal there, literally with the last kick of the match. They win 3-2. U.S. already had the group stage wrapped up. We all know that. Yeah. I hate the things happen the way they did. You lose to a country that doesn't even know what it wants to call itself. It's just you and I talk a lot about momentum in sports, and I hated that it ended that way.
Yeah. And I was just getting ready to say the same thing, Dave. What you said about momentum. You can't take really anything bad away from this game except for the fact that they lost. Because yes, they are moving on as it is anyway. But the problem, the nice thing about that problem, and listen to us act like experts. The thing about this problem is it's very fixable. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they went the whole game not being able to fix this one problem out. So, they see it, they got it in front of them, they can fix it, they can move on. And the announcers were very impressed with the way the second group of guys played in the second half for not being on the field that much. And you're right. You put 9 players out there on any sport, hey, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And and I thought, and honestly, I thought that they played, really well. I didn't know how good Turkey A was, but would you have liked to got that third win? Of course, that 7th point, yes. The loss, it's hard to swallow, but I'm sure they woke up this morning and they're moving forward.
Well, and hopefully it'll be the best thing that happens to them.
Exactly. Yeah, a little wake-up call doesn't hurt. You're right.
Hopefully, yeah, definitely. Again, U.S. men's team back in action. Next Wednesday, man, it gets real. Round of 32 against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Again, that's Wednesday, July the 1st. Again, U.S. back in action as they win the group stage. They move on, and the field's starting to come together here in the FIFA World Cup. A whole slate of matches today. I know a lot of eyeballs are going to be on Spain, as they take the pitch a little bit later on tonight, taking on let's see here. I'm trying to look through my list here. Uruguay. You've got the darlings, the Cinderellas of the tournament, if you will, in Cabo Verde taking on Saudi Arabia today. Norway and France is going to be the first match here at 3:00. That's going to be a big one. You've got 2 superstars there, and Mbappe and Holland for Norway going at it. They've been hyping up that matchup tonight. And then later on tonight as well, Belgium and New Zealand and Egypt and Iran, as again the rest of the knockout stages and group play continues. But yeah, man, World Cup, great experience. My son's coming over tonight. We're going to watch Spain. He got me a jersey the other day, from Lamine Yamal, the teenage sensation there. So he's really jumping on that Spain train for some reason.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad you gave me a chance to say something, because I was listening to our friend Coop yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, where in the world is he coming from? But then I realized that he's very young, and he might not have experienced a lot, throughout life, which is okay because he's got a long way to go. Under no circumstances did I ever say I don't think that Cristiano Ronaldo was the greatest thing since sliced bread at age 48. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I know he's 48, and I know the guy is limited in what he can do. But the one takeaway, and I'm just busting Coop's chops. He's a great guy. He sounds like it anyway. Right. The one thing that I take away from this whole thing was what he had mentioned is that one person doing the whole thing. If you ask Messi, you ask any of those great players, they're going to say if it wasn't for their team, they wouldn't be where they are today. So yes, does Messi look unstoppable in the U.S. Soccer matches? Yes, because look who we're playing. Then you step up the competition worldwide. So I understand where Coop is coming from. Ronaldo at one time was the greatest player. He could do it by himself. He could do it with his teammates, just like Messi can, just like these other young kids coming through can. And it's all the perspective of what that one person can do overall for that team. So thank you for letting me say that. I tell you what, I've enjoyed it more and more as I'm getting to watch it a little bit more, because it's almost like hockey. You're seeing the plays set up, and you're seeing how brash that some of these teams are working in the middle of the field and closer to the opponent's goal. And so it's, you're learning, and then plus on the side of that, you get to see the fans go nuts, which is, all the stories are. It's Walmart heaven's what it is. Yeah. Just go to a stadium or a convention center. It's Walmart heaven. Just sit down and just soak it in for 10 hours.
I love it, man. I love the Netherlands. I love the Orange Army with the Netherlands. Man, they're showing out. Norway, Germany took over Times Square the other night. There's a lot of great stories coming out of the World Cup.
And Dave, can I just say one thing? I'm sorry, I meant to say it earlier. I listened to an interview late last night, or it might have been late Wednesday night, and it wasn't a big interview, but they were asking some foreigners, what's the biggest advice when they said that you came over here? And you know what 3 of them said? And I don't know if that's why they cut away from it or not, but 3 of them had said, don't listen to the media.
Right, yeah.
You know what? And it looks like what these people have done, and they've gone out and they've picked neighborhoods and they've made friends with those neighbors. And I mean, that how cool is that?
How cool is that?
Just so you're sitting in Boston, and all of a sudden, 2,000 Norwegian fans show up. What the hell are you going to do except for join?
You can join in, and that's the great thing is seeing all the cross-cultural stuff going on there. No doubt about it. Hey, hit us up on the Jasper Coca-Cola text line. Let us know what you think. Have you had any experiences? Have you run into someone from another country over the last week or so that's here for the World Cup? Because they trickle even into North Georgia, man. A lot of folks are doing a lot of sightseeing, visiting the mountains in different places there. So let us know if you've had any reactions with folks. 866-888-0744. The Atlanta Braves, a whole nother story, man. Again, they've lost 4 in a row. They were off last night. They've got the series starting tonight against the Giants, again swept by the Padres. Right now that lead, again, dwindling down to 5 games for Atlanta Braves. Again, they open up a weekend set tonight at 10:15 on the West Coast, tomorrow at 9:05, and then on Sunday at 4:05. That's the getaway game, and then on Tuesday they come back home to take on the Cardinals, and that's the next time we'll see the Braves back at home. But, John, what is going on with this team? Yesterday we had the Tomahawk Take. Again, our man Will Cooper, our Braves insider, bringing it, talking about trade deadline, different things. I mean, what does this team have to do in order to get back on track?
Yeah, I just think they have to just take a deep breath. I was looking at it last night, and I was going to pull some things up through the ESPN app, and one of the things that it had in here that you could look at it was called splits, and how they do like the first quarter, the second quarter, the first third of the season and stuff. And you know what? They're consistent. There's nothing except for the month of June. They're nothing but consistent. Now, now that I'm trying to find it, I can't pull it up. But their wins at home, their wins away, they're hitting, they're fielding. It's just the only. Obviously, Dave, you can sit here and pick apart, and Coop's probably obviously a lot better than this because I don't really study the stats and stuff as much. Your hitters have got to hit. Obviously, your pitchers have got to pitch. I think during this time right now, I don't know. Maybe summer came early. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because it's not summer. Trust me. I mean, this is when you're having to wear a little jacket outside. In June, something's
false.
Something's wrong. But I just think it's. I don't know. I just think it's just. There's just a reset that Walt's got to do it, and what that reset's going to be. But I see the problem as the, and I could be wrong, but I see the problem as the relief pitching. And then the batters that we need to step up, there's just still kind of lagging behind because really to be the number 1 team, number 2 team in a major leagues, you're still only batting about 260 across the board. And it's just I know there are better answers, and I know that's probably the easy way to say things. As far as I'm trying to be positive, and I know because I know this is a good ball team.
A lot of Braves fans are at this point.
Yeah, and I just think that a lot of people are wanting this team to do well, and they're not ready to turn the tide, but they obviously need to pick it up. So hopefully, and look, this is they got a 4-game lead, 5 series, I think I told you, and then there's 16 games before the All-Star break. So if you could win all 5 of those series, I to be honest with you, Dave, I would be happy with a 9-7, 10-6 because these are good baseball teams. It's not like they're not. It's not like they're way down deep in the cellar.
Sure.
And 1 or 2, but we're still before San Francisco's. Let's see, 33 and 47. But we know what they can do, obviously.
Right.
So
and being out on the West Coast, it's always a challenge. For the Braves, they don't spend as much time out there as they used to, for sure. So it'll be interesting what plays out.
Yeah, if they could go 10-6, 9-7, or 11-5 over the next 16 games and get into the All-Star break, maybe 6-7 games ahead. Maybe that'll be the reset that they need, and then come out and let's see what Walt does in the second half of the season.
There you go, man. There you go. Plenty of Braves talk right here. Still ahead on the program over the next couple of weeks, obviously, as we are the official North Georgia home of the Atlanta Braves right here on the Sports Pig. When we come back, again, PGA news coming up later in the show. Wimbledon getting underway as well. And, of course, a little bit of discussion about travel baseball teams, man, and how expensive it is. All that and more right here as we rant on a Friday, the Friday happy hour edition of our program, brought to you by your friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill off of Lower Roswell Road there in East Cobb. We'll be there next Friday for the Bradley's Brunch and Lunch. Stay with us right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Welcome to your hometown pub. Open 7 days a week, the Pub in Ella J is your happy hour hangout. They offer a variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, and their friendly staff is here to ensure a wonderful time. Join them for daily happy hour specials Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday with $1 wings all day long. Located at 941 Maddox Drive in East Ella J. Open Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. The Pub in Ella J, where every visit feels like home. Big opinions of the big games from the big mouths.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the Morning Rant on WPGY, the Sports Pig, North Georgia's home for ESPN Radio.
Sit down.
Back here on this Friday happy hour presented by Bradley's. Again, Dave Garner, John Davis, the refrigerator mover with you right here till 11 o'clock. Chuck Oliver, our man, will take over at the top of the hour and talk some college football with you right here on the Sports Pig. Hey, the Jasper Coca-Cola text line popping off right here, 866-888-0744. Let's get to it right here. We had a comment on here, John. Somebody texted in and said, hey, when will y'all be on-site airing in the flats, man? He wants to know when the refrigerator mover is going to be on the flats live and in person, man. Well, hey, you know, as soon as football season starts, hopefully.
Well, yeah, we're working on it. Apparently, there are some loopholes that you have to go through in the radio world to, air at Georgia Tech. So hopefully, our fearless leader has some connections with 680 The Fan. And but yeah, we've got a great location. Actually, the Jewish Fraternity House, the AE Pies, right there on Bobby Dodd and Techwood, at the northeast corner of the stadium where the new build is, and we're in the process of working out getting on site with them, and it should not bother 680 The Fan whatsoever, and we're also not necessarily broadcasting anything. We're just doing a live show there. So we're trying to see if we can't get it worked out. Maybe for Colorado and especially Tennessee, I think would be a lot of fun. And then of course the next week I believe we have Mercer. We'll once we get into our 2-hour show, things will start falling into place. The pieces will start falling into place, and we'll be able to, like the phone line that we want to have. We want to, get a phone line for everybody because we want to start having some giveaways and things like that for our listeners and everything. So so it's some good stuff's happening, and it's coming up.
Yep. There you go. Jasper Coca-Cola text line, as always, 866-888-0744. Another comment. Rumor has it that y'all will be in LJ on the 4th. And somebody just said, is the refrigerator mover the grand marshal for the parade? I don't know if there's some inside information going on right here or not. But, hey, I guess you just have to wait and see, man. There may be some surprises next weekend.
Very well could be. I have been in discussions with our buddy Kyle Ray, but no, you Dave, you know how I feel about LJ. I know how you feel about LJ as well because you spent a lot of time there. Love to always get back home, and if something works out, great. If nothing does, at least we'll be able to spend some time up there promoting our radio show and our station, and getting to see some old friends and some new faces.
There we go, man. I love it. Again, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line, as always, gives you, the listener, the opportunity to interact with us live or later. Either way, man, because it's open 24 hours. Even when we're not on the air live, you can still chime in with a question. We'll get to it on the next program. But again, 866-888-0744. Write that number down and keep it with you. That way, if you're in your car and you think of something, or if we talk about something you want to chime in about, man, we'd love to hear from you. That's what it's all about. And to your point, John, when we go 2 hours here coming up in another month or so. It'll really give folks the opportunity to interact with us.
Yeah.
We are working on an actual phone line so people can call in. And so those are some things that we've got coming. We also have some other announcements about some programming this fall. We talked about tech. We talked about working, and I don't mind saying it. You said it, and I don't mind being transparent. We've got a good relationship with 680 The Fan down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Chuck Oliver obviously is on 680 The Fan. He does a show for us right here, the Chuck Oliver Show as well. We're hoping to maybe even get him up to a high school football game on a Friday night and let him jump in with us. So, we do have a relationship there. We're not really competing necessarily.
Right.
So, yeah, we do pull from resources. We use their high school football scoreboard show after our high school football coverage right here. So, yeah, there may be some partnership stuff going on there as well, and maybe we can make something work at Georgia Tech. But yeah, man, looking forward to it. Busy fall season. Hey, let's talk some golf for just a minute because I know there's some PGA news out there right now. World rankings, man. Scotty Scheffler still number 1, Rory McIlroy 2, Young 3, Fitzpatrick 4, and again Henley 5, rounding out the top 5 right now as far as the PGA World rankings go. But again, you've got some news as well, John, because we were talking a little bit about it right here on the program as far as the proposed, championship series and events and what that schedule might look like moving forward.
Well, I think we all knew when LIV came about 4 or 5 years ago that there were rumblings underneath the PGA that money was being held back, the billions of dollars that they had made. The players were even getting upset because they weren't part of that NIL, Phil Mickelson's like, y'all used my picture on TV for 365 straight days, but I don't get a dime of it, and not to say that, but and the money's not the purpose of it. The purpose of the whole thing is calling them out for the double standard that they have. So I think LIV Golf did I think LIV Golf did a big favor to the PGA, even though I think at the beginning we all didn't think that it was going to work just because of the money and everything and the contentiousness amongst the countries. But they've made the PGA open up and do some things that they probably wouldn't have done. You notice now they have on-course interviews. They also have music on some of the holes at some of the tournaments. You also see that their attendance is down, and you also see that the major top 50, top 60 golfers aren't always playing. So Rocket Mortgage out of Detroit, they're bailing after I forget how many years with them. So that's what you're seeing. So now what they're doing, from what I read and understood, is that they're coming up with like 2 different championship series. Obviously, as you know, the Signature Series is like the top 70 players. And from what I'm understanding, that's about what that's going to be, the championship series, if you're in the top 70, and then but the key to it is what I'm trying to understand is the 23 to 24 events. Is that how many they're making them play, or is that just how many that's going to be on that tour? I get to the point, and it has to be more, because even some of the tournaments down for the Challenger Series is going to be some of these golf courses, whether it's in Houston or Louisiana or Myrtle Beach or somewhere like that. They're going to have other courses that you're going to have to play, because I don't think you're going to be able to cut out 23 or 24 signature events or championship series events. So my whole, and then you have the Challenger Series quickly that people are going in, and it's going to be fluid. It's going to be moving up and down and all of that. And then the last, instead of having just a plain old cut, you'll get the Last Chance Series, to where it's almost like a Monday qualifying for somebody. They're not having pre-qualifying. They're not doing any of that. But this Last Chance kind of sounds like they're able, if something happens, they're able, the top 3 or 4 golfers can go in on that Monday and try to win a spot for that tournament that weekend. I don't know if that's completely 100% correct, but so at the end of the day, they've changed the model for the PGA. And you know that Jack Nicklaus has had to have something to do with this. Some of these older guys that have gotten in there, Tiger Woods, I'm sure, has. But they're finally making it to where because with the Korn Ferry Tour, they're probably, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to kind of tighten the noose on the good players to start showing up to these major events.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think you're right.
I'm trying to say that the right way. I'm trying to say, you can't come out here and say you're only going to play in 9 tournaments when we're selling tickets for 40 tournaments, hoping that the number 5 golfer is going to be in town.
Yeah, exactly. No, and to your point, and I think that's the problem with a lot of this stuff. So PGA looking to tweak it. Meanwhile, some other news too, John. Again, Eastlake no longer going to annually host the Tour Championship. It looks like the PGA is also going to kind of move that around for a competitive balance.
Yeah, no, I think it's a disappointment because I think that's an iconic golf course, especially with the history behind it and everything. I think that needs to be. I think that needs to be a mainstay every year. Maybe they'll change direction and maybe not make it the tournament sponsor or the Tournament of Champions tournament, but have some type of tournament down there because to me it is President's Cup or Ryder Cup worthy. Because I think that there are a lot of different things that you can do to that course that would just absolutely rip your stomach apart. I just think it's that type of course that there's so many things that you can do that it would make it a fun course.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, for us to watch, let me put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not so much for the guys on it at the time. But hey, we appreciate you guys being with us. Jasper Coca-Cola text line open as always, 866-888-0744. Hitting the home stretch of the show here today and wrapping up for the week. And we're going to come back, have a little discussion about, again, some travel baseball, man, as we bring it back a little bit closer to home and some other headlines here as we hit in the final segment of the program for you right here. Again, our social media, man, Sports Pig, as always, on Facebook, Morning Rant on Instagram, and also on YouTube as well. The podcast version of our program is available on our website every day at sportspigradio.com and wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast on both Apple and Android platforms, including Spotify and Podbean. You can also interact with us on social media. I'm on Twitter at DaveGarner777. He's at JohnDavis_65, and this is the Morning Rant. Keep it locked right here. One segment to go on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia, on the Sports Pig app and online at SportsPigRadio.com.
Financial scams are on the rise, and with AI, they're getting more and more sophisticated every day. If someone pressures you to act quickly, ask for secrecy, or request payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, stop. Legitimate financial professionals don't rush you or demand unusual payment methods. Before you send money or share personal information, slow down and verify. Protect your future. When in doubt, ask questions.
If you're suspicious of a scam, call the team at Foundation Wealth today at 706-278-0214.
We bring the heat. You bring the trash talk.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
It's the Morning Rant, live on the Sports Pig app and SportsPigRadio.com.
Back here on a Friday happy hour edition of the program. Thanks for joining us. As always, Dave Garner, John Davis at the end of another long week, baby. But again, it's summertime, so plenty to be happy about. Appreciate you guys being right here with us. Friday happy hour presented by your friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill. Again, East Cobb's #1 upscale dive since 1998. The food is fantastic. Last Friday, they brought the smoker, so we had some extra meats there, man. I mean, fall off the bone, ribs, you name it, man. It was just, there was a lot going on there. Had a lot of fun. Great crowd showed up. We appreciate those folks. But you got to do it again next Friday. Next Friday, we'll be back at Bradley's as we celebrate our country's 250th birthday. Again, Independence Day weekend next weekend. It's hard to believe we're already close to July 4th. But yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. The final leg of our Bradley's Brunch and Lunch summer tour. We're going to be auctioning off Big John jerseys from each era. We've got the Coach Bill Curry autographed book, some other prizes, door prizes, things like that. So if you can make it to Bradley's next Friday, Google it, look it up, GPS it. You know, it's not hard to get to. And again, it's in a great neighborhood, so come on down and see us. If you can't join us on the air, we're going to have some more announcements, especially as far as programming and things like that. So we hope you can join us either in person or over the air next Friday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia. NHL, we talked about it earlier in the week. John, again, the hurdles are starting to kind of be cleared one by one, it seems, as hockey moves one step closer to being back in Atlanta. Oh, can you hear me? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I would say once you get the land permit and I can hear you. I might be in and out. Tell me if I am. once the land permit gets going and start moving the dirt and everything, it's I think something's happening. So I don't think they're going to build an ice rink just for fun. But no, so it'll be exciting news. I expect something to probably come out in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I think so. I think hockey in Atlanta, I think it's imminent, man, at this point. I think it's going to happen. It may still be a few years. It may be 2030, or something like that before they actually get a team on the ice. But I think it's definitely coming to Atlanta. Hey, you and I were talking a little bit off air earlier in the week, and we came across some different stats and different things on social media talking about the numbers being in for 2026 for travel baseball teams. And I know a lot of our area here in North Georgia, we have a lot of travel baseball and softball teams. You see everybody's pictures on Facebook. A lot of parents spend spend a lot of time at the ballpark. I know my folks did. I know I'm sure your folks did as well. But man, it ain't cheap. And you've got East Cobb baseball right down the road. You've got the I think it's the 463 I believe group there as well. But yeah, there's some pretty fascinating numbers that have come out about travel baseball expenses lately, and the financial stress that it puts on families to make that commitment.
Well, I'm looking at numbers. And you know what? I just pulled this up because I didn't ask you for a link, but I'm looking at numbers right now, and it seems low to me. I can't wait for you to hear your numbers. And this is something I can talk about because we did travel volleyball. And let me tell you something, that is a whole different league. Now, listen, I talked to my buddies who were travel baseball dads. They'd have a game at 7 in the morning and then not one till 8 at night. And, just baking in the sun to where now they were buying RVs and they were just taking RVs to all the ballparks, so the kids could at least be indoors. My goodness, think if what happened with that, you would have to sit underneath a tent in the blazing sun. These poor kids today don't really have it, they have it a little bit too hard these days, being able to sit in an RV. So, but yeah, no, the cost. I'm interested to see what your costs are because I'm looking at some right now. And then I'll tell you what our volleyball costs.
Right.
Were.
Well. Again, 2026 numbers are in. Now, this is off of, some different reports and things like that. Some baseball seasons. Now, this may not be for everybody. This may not be necessarily specific to North Georgia. But you let us know. If you're listening right now, if you've got a son or a daughter playing travel ball, or if you're one of those, parents throughout the week there, text us. Let us know. What do those expenses look like on our Jasper Coca-Cola text line, 866-888-0744. But one report we're seeing, and this is from someone that says travel baseball season now runs about $5,500 to $6,500 per player. In hotbed states like Florida, Texas, California, even Georgia, elite programs cross the $10,000 barrier once you add private coaching and, national tournaments. Because let's face it, all these tournaments have fees that kind of get passed down to the families. They have to enter these tournaments. They have to pay a fee to do that. But family spending on youth sports is up 46% over the past 5 years. The kids did not get 46% better, for 46% increase of the price there. But, families are quietly going into debt, chasing the development edge and spending, that really rarely delivers. So, again, there's different reports out there, and this is just one. And this particular person that chimed in said, hey, a great hitter is built on quality reps, good coaching, rest, and time, not on the number of states you fly to. Most of that $6,500 buy is logistics, not growth. So, there are a lot of folks that are, here and there. Some folks, a lot of parents see it as an investment. If it gets your kid in front of, potential college coaches, if it wins them a scholarship or certainly nowadays NIL money, then all of a sudden, that $5,500 to $6,500 a season or a year or whatever that, comes out to looks pretty, minute in the grand scheme of things. But nonetheless, though, it's still a commitment. And as we know, there's only a small percentage of those players that actually end up moving on, and really playing, next level.
Right.
So, yep.
Well, the numbers I'm seeing right here, and Dave, I think we're having a little problems
I
with
hear
the
you
mics
right.
and
You're
stuff.
coming
I
in good right now,
apologize.
though.
What? Okay, so what I'm seeing right now, and this came out February 21st. The average cost is $22.75, which I thought was way low. I'd like to know where these people are. The average high was around $8,000 per kid. Listen, we went through volleyball with Julia, and you're right. You kind of make this decision because you want to invest in your child and hopefully get the scholarship when they get into college and everything. We probably I'm going to say starting 5th grade, maybe 6th grade, but I think it might have been 5th grade. It was an average $1,000 a month for her going all the way through high school, club volleyball, high school volleyball, beach volleyball, you name it. It came out to be $1,000. About we figured at the end of the day we spent probably between $120,000 investing.
Wow.
And we would thankfully we could. A lot of these parents can't, and that's what sucks for these kids. But it did pay off for Julia. She did get a scholarship. Now, I think we're still underwater as the amount of scholarships that she got versus our investment. But at the end of the day, she got a great career, or she got a great degree. She's working for IBM. She's doing great. So everything's good. Now for the parents who can't afford it, those are the ones that are having the issues. And I know that there are opportunities out there for people to give money to scholarship monies and stuff like that. It is not fair to be paying this much money for these leagues. It's just I am totally against the year-round league, but I'm in the minority. I felt like Dave, you and I grew up playing 3, 4, 5 sports. Whatever we could get our hands on, that's what we did. Kids today are saying if you're going to be great at this, you got to play it year round. Well, that's bull, and I regret that I didn't make a better decision for my kids to let them play different sports. But at the time, you're so brain fed that you've got to do this, you got to do this in order to get the scholarship.
To be a year-round athlete, to be able to be good enough to be able to play the next level. I think if you're athletic enough, I'm a big fan of playing multiple sports. I mean, small school ball, it's the same kids that are playing football, baseball, what have you, running track, golf, tennis, you name it. Smaller schools, you only have such a pool to pull from. Larger schools tend to be able to spread out a little bit more. But, you kind of can't, Gilmer at the time that you were there was not a very big school, I don't guess, right? So you were playing basketball.
No, everybody played anything.
So you're playing everything. So, again, that's just kind of the way it is. But we're definitely in a different environment right now, and folks are dropping a lot of money. And what's sad is there are folks that are going into debt of this. They see – and I saw that a little bit, too, with, like, quarter midget racing. We're right here in North Georgia, hotbed for racing. Same thing, man. There's a lot of expenses to that. But, a lot of these families, they pretty much put everything out there just to be able to get a new set of tires or what have you. And, for these kids to be able to run these quarter midgets, hopes that maybe it'll land into some big NASCAR contract.
And a lot of them – right, and a lot of them, I think, Dave, and I could be wrong, but I think a lot of these families probably have their own shops. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I have a feeling that they're probably working on their cars, and they're saving some expenses there. But the other expenses I can understand, are outweigh them. But hey, God, look, dude. It's that taste for victory. It's that just. I don't know how to explain it. Is that once you get that adrenaline going, it's whether it's basketball or I wanted to play everything. Warren and I wanted to play everything just because we didn't want to go home. We just wanted to be on the field with our friends and stuff. Not like that today. But I'm not I'm not going to be one of these 60-year-olds who is old grumpy and everything. I can understand how the things are changing. I'm learning a lot from Olivia and Derek with what they're doing with Henry and Hudson and the different sports that they're getting them into. So it's nice that they're doing that because that's going to give them a lot more opportunities down the road. And that's something that I never really had to tell the kids, I don't think, because I always wanted them to do everything that they could. But there's a point in time, as you know, there's a point in time that you got to bear down and say, okay, am I going to play basketball at Georgia Tech or am I going to play football?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Taste of victory, agony of your checkbook. No doubt about it is the conversation and discussion.
Yeah, exactly.
Continues
Good
there with youth sports, travel teams, expenses, things like that. Hey, it's worked out here. Pickens County won a state high school baseball championship this year. So did Etowah High School right down the road. Gordon Lee up the road a little bit. So a lot of great representation. Kell High School over there in Cobb County as well. They're right around the corner, literally, I think, from the East Cobb baseball youth program that's been so dominant over the years there. But, definitely a discussion right here, certainly, that we wanted to bring to the Morning Rant. Right here on this Friday happy hour edition before we get out of here for the week. We're about out of time right here on the program, man. Thanks for being with us once again throughout the week. It's been a great week for the show, and as always, we love entertaining your text on the Jasper Coca-Cola text line 866-888-0744. Thanks for being with us right here. Big John, thanks for bringing it. As always, partner, we'll see you back here on Monday as we break down the weekend.
You got it, big guy. Have a great weekend. Great happy anniversary.
I appreciate that. Hey, again, the Morning Rant right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the SportsPig app and online at sportspigradio.com. Want to invite you to visit us on social media. Again, the SportsPig on Facebook. Our show, The Morning Rant, is on Instagram with clips. You can also catch full episodes on YouTube and on our website, sportspigradio.com, and wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast. Again, check us out, Spotify, Podbean, you name it, man. We're all over the place. Once again, you can interact with us on social media. On Twitter, I'm Dave Garner777. He's John Davis _65. And this is the Morning Rant. Chuck Oliver up next with Southern Sports Today and the Chuck Oliver Show, the king of college football, as we break down more NIL recruit news for you right here on the Sports Pig. Hey, we'll see you Monday. In the meantime, go USA. World Cup action all weekend long. Braves tonight right here on the dial, as well as NASCAR stuff, you name it. Stay with us right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia. That's the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.
When you get hurt from an accident, it can feel like no one is listening to you. The insurance company talks over you. The bills keep coming. It's like the pain and inconvenience doesn't even matter to them. But your story does matter. And here at Geiger Legal, we will make sure your story is heard loud and clear. My name is Casey Geiger, and my firm stands up for people who have been wronged through someone else's negligence. Let us tell your story. Let us get the justice you deserve. And let's start today.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG, and let us tell your story today.